Gabriela Dragomir, and I'm founder and CEO of Brainstorm Strategy. And I'm very, very excited today because today with me in our talk show Diasporas in Business is Rafal Pikul. Welcome, Rafal. Why I'm excited? I'm excited because I met you many years ago, and you already have lots of experience and business experience with people like Gary, like Warren Buffett or Andy. And please let us know more about your journey and your expertise. Welcome.
Great, Gabriela. Thank you very much. Thank you for inviting me here. I appreciate. It's always nice to meet good people that have similar mindset and ideas. Yes, we have met a few years ago. Time flies incredible, you know, especially this year. Time flies very fast. With me, you know, last year we had our first baby and we bought a house, so like things go really even faster than usually. So I'm really excited. Okay, to give a bit more intro about myself, because I think it will be easier for you, Gabriela, but mostly for your viewers to kind of get into my shoes and understand more of what we're talking about if they know the story. I think story is really important, where someone comes from, what they went through. So I think that's a big part of the game. So yes, currently, as you mentioned, my name is Rafal Pikul, and I run a full-service content marketing agency. So we help brands and companies with their marketing, starting from creating a strategy through production phase, ending on a distribution on free channels and doing paid ads. So that's what I'm currently doing as my business life. I'm a consultant helping businesses as well within the agency. On a personal level, and as I mentioned, I'm a you know, very happy father to amazing little Christopher, who's just been 1 year old recently.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, he's amazing, and I'm husband to my wife Eva, that I believe you met as well. So that's part of the life, is obviously beautiful. I love being outdoor, love you know, climbing, being outside. I think you know, we have one life, so it's important to divide it between kind of a business and family and personal. But at the end of the day, it's all one, because we cannot divide it really. So I think sharing that is important. I currently live in the UK, in London, although as you can probably guess from my accent, I'm not from there. I was born in Poland and moved to London almost 15 years ago, I think 13 or so. So I'm there full time now. I started my journey I started my journey to where I am now as a creator. So I always liked technology. I always liked, you know, gadgets and like, you know, telephones, smartphone, all that stuff. I remember when I was a kid, you may remember that, Gabriela, as well, when I was, I don't know, 10 or so, I had this little calculator, like a small square calculator with a single you know, LCD that had many buttons, and I was running with my friends in my hometown, and we imagined that this calculator is like a supercomputer that can open any door. So I remember I had this dream. I like technology and from the beginning. And then when I was around 20 or my early 20s, I picked up the camera. So I started taking photos, making videos. That turned into being a freelancer, so creating that photos and videos for someone. And then I left my day job. And the next step was the marketing and social media. And I think we'll go to that in a second a bit more. And I know you've got some questions prepared.
Yeah.
But yes, this journey through being creative, making videos and photos, through, you know, adding social media and marketing, led me to where I am today. And as you kindly mentioned, it's been my great pleasure to work with amazing people such as Mr. Warren Buffett, the owner of Berkshire Hathaway, Gary Vaynerchuk, and the Harrington, and Direct Line Insurance in the UK, and many other amazing small and big companies.
In some point, you steal my first question. How did you discover your passion, your vocation for marketing? And you let us know very early. But how you discover marketing and know something else from online?
It's a really great question, Gabriela. I think going back to the kind of a pre-internet world, I always liked communication. I remember when I was a kid, I wanted to study psychology. I finally went into studying English, although psychology and a communication with someone, with other person. And many years ago, it was mostly face-to-face, and obviously in the last 5-10 years, it's been more internet. I always liked this communication. And then when I became a creative, when I started taking photos, making videos, I understood that it's not only to take a photo, grab a phone and take a photo, make a video. You need to do it in a way that communicates the message you want to send to the client. And that's where the communication comes in. So my passion for marketing and creating content for marketing comes from early days, where I always like to talk to people. And I sometimes say that I like to talk to people from every walk of life. So anyone from having from a McDonald's worker or someone who works on streets, all the way through maybe even a queen of the UK. So firstly, it was communication, Gabriela, with other people, and then I realized that hey, you can do a good communication online. So that's why I started creating content, and we used it in a smart way to communicate to the clients so they can get their results.
In my early journey in entrepreneurship, I understand something very, very important. If I don't go to expose myself, I don't make things happen. How you manage to be close with Gary, with Warren, with Andy, and many, many others?
Great question. I think there are few layers to this answer. Definitely exposing yourself, yes. And when we say exposing, we mean, and what I believe is what you meant is producing content online. So doing videos like that, doing photos, posts, and telling people what you do, because that's how they will discover you. Although that doesn't really help that much if you want to reach the really high big clients, because my journey with these big names, so Gary Vaynerchuk, Warren Buffett, Andy Harrington, it started from one of those people, and this is really interesting. So there is this saying, I think it's possibly called a snowball effect.
Yeah.
When you build a small ball from snow and it starts rolling, and it becomes bigger on its own. And this is kind of what happened. So at the very beginning, and again, I've been into communication and creating content and social media for almost 15 years now, in one way or the other. But only around 5 years ago or so, I got to the point where I started working for this first big client, and that was Gary Vaynerchuk. So before that, I did projects for many other people, dozens and dozens. But and again, I love them, I respect them, I help them, they help me. It's amazing. But Gary started something crazy, and then these few bigger names came in, because that's how brand work, and that's really interesting as well for your viewers now. People online usually kind of skim read. They don't spend much time reading something and watching. They go through Facebook, scroll, and it's really funny, because a few weeks ago, I think I posted a photo of me and Gary Vaynerchuk from maybe last year, and I just said something, hey Gary, I don't know, I don't know if it was his birthday or something else, but I was creating some memories. And I posted that. And then I saw a friend the next day and he was like, hey, did you work with Gary yesterday? I was like, no, I didn't. But it's really interesting how internet works, because very little number of people will read something consciously, but they go through Facebook and they saw a photo of me, Gary, we do something, and they already connected it to hey, Raf does something for Gary. So I'm saying all of that because it's important to post good things, to when you go to the event, to take selfies with people, with speakers, with other attendees, because that's what stays in people's minds when they go on Facebook. But going back to my topic, so how I got there, I believe that first of all, if I and if you, because we want to give some value to the client, if you want to reach your dream client, you definitely need to have a really good skills or service. So in my case, I was creating, 5 years ago it was just me, freelancer, and then a year later the agency got created, but I was creating videos and photos. So I had to have a really good level of technicality and portfolio in order to speak to that kind of a person. So that's one thing. But then someone will tell me, hey, Raf, but many people can create great videos and photos and do Facebook ads, all that stuff. And I say, yes, correct. Then there's the next level. So at the very beginning, the base have to be, you need to be good at what you do. So whether you paint, whether you are a lawyer, or you sell, bags that you do at home, it has to be really good. So because the competition is huge, you need to be good at what you do. Then the next level is what I call emotional intelligence. So you need to be smart about how you do things and how to get to people. Because even if you have the great emotional intelligence and you can get to someone, but if the baseline, if the technicality is not there, they will say, hey, no, sorry, that's not good for me. So that's why the baseline is you need to be great at what you do. The next step would be, I'm sure the example. I knew I want to work with him. Gary V, for those of you that don't know, he's a public speaker. He's a marketer running almost a 1,000 people marketing agency from New York. And at the beginning, they only had office in New York. Then they opened office in Los Angeles, and the next one in London. So when I met Gary online first, I knew, oh, he's good. He's amazing. I love him. I want to do something for him. I didn't really want to work for him as an employee because I was an entrepreneur at the beginning, a solopreneur, and then the company got opened. But I knew I wanted to do something for him, Gabriela. So I followed him. So I followed him on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Snapchat, everywhere. And when I found out that he opens office in London, I was like, oh, it's amazing. He will be in London. So let me see what I can do to connect with him. And then I discovered that he posted, hey, I'll be in London tomorrow and I will be at this conference. You can buy tickets here. So I went literally the next minute and got tickets. I think they were either free or they cost like, I don't know, £5 maybe, very cheap, which is very unusual. But because that happened, those tickets got sold out very, very fast, Gabriela. So because I followed him, and it's really important what I'm saying, because I followed him, I had my notifications on at that time, so I knew when he posted, and he said, hey, I will be in London tomorrow. So I bought this ticket and I went to this conference, and at this conference, the magic happened. So there was a Q&A session, and I basically raised my hand saying, hey, I want to ask you a question, and I got the mic, and I asked him some sort of a question, but then I said, hey, Gary, I would like to do some kind of a project for you. I want to work for you. And he was like, okay, let's see what we can do. And then we exchanged some emails, and I recorded a video. There's another story. And I can talk about that, Gabriela, for hours, maybe later. But what is important is that I was prepared, because first of all, I had a technical quality and portfolio that proved that I can create at a good level. And then I followed this person, so I knew where he will be, and I bought these tickets. I think these tickets 1 or 2 hours later, they got sold out. So if I didn't go to this conference, I wouldn't be able to ask for the opportunity to work with him. So it's all connected.
That means Raf, you need to be open to grab all the opportunity. It is what coming on your face, and don't wait for others or good time to grab them. What do you think?
Yeah.
Is the most important thing what happened in your entrepreneurial journey, in your entrepreneurial career? Because I know it's lots of work, it's lots of discipline, it's lots of hours working and the sacrifice. But for you, for Rafal, for today, Rafal, what is important to keep in mind?
Really, yes, really good question. I think at least two or three things, and tell me which directions you want to go to. But one thing that comes to my mind is patience and persistence. So things take time. They don't happen tomorrow. They take years and sometimes decades. Every now and then there is a overnight success. Someone wins a lottery, or someone buys something and it makes him or herself money next day. And that's almost impossible. And even if that happens, that person loses this money very soon. That's what mostly happens. So things takes time. So I think if you do what's your passion, and then if you are consistent, that helps. Because as I mentioned, I grabbed the camera probably 12 years ago, and then camera led me to creating content online. That led me to working with Gary Vee. Then when I had Gary Vee in my portfolio, I could work with someone like Warren Buffett and Andy Harrington and other people. So I think this consistency for 10 years, I worked for some great people, and I took photos of my family and friends, and then some clients. But then suddenly, so there was like long line of working, doing something, and then suddenly huge jump. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think persistency and long term. And another thing, when working with client, trust and over delivery. So what I mean by that, trust, I think it's extremely important. The person you work with needs to feel that you really care, and it has to be a real trust. So just a real connection these days, especially that most of the work we do is online. Like we are talking online now. I mean, from my laptop, you're in front of your computer, we're talking online. It's a bit harder to build trust, but we need to do that. So when someone trusts you, when they like you, they don't necessarily have to like you. It's good that they like you, but they trust you. They knew that you are a good person and you have the good technical, that you will help. And over delivery is always good, because like it's Gabriela, every time you order something and you get a little bit extra, even if it's an extra chocolate, or if it's an extra flowers, they're always nice. It's free. Like everyone likes free stuff. So I think that this thing, so long-term persistency for your passion, as well as trust that you build with clients, real trust that is based on a care and caring for someone.
How do you manage your energy level? Because you are over busy. You have busy schedule, family and business. How do you manage to be very energized?
Wow, really good questions, Gabriela. You are good with that.
I'm happy to hear that, especially from your side, the expert in personal and business branding.
I love that. It's a great question. I think, and I'm laughing because I'm thinking about my current situation. And until last year, I didn't have a baby. It was me and my wife. So it was a bit different. For those of you who are parents, babies are amazing, but the life from a time and energy before babies and after babies is a bit different.
I know. I'm with you.
Yeah, so it's a bit different. But I think two things come to my mind. one or one are like tangible things. So how they manage my energy. I try to go to bed and have a good night's sleep and go to bed always before midnight. I usually around 10 p.m. I kind of think, where's the bed, where I'm going, and 10:30, 11, I'm mostly asleep. Very rarely I'm staying until midnight. So that's one thing. I know that, there are many different evidences and books that say that we should be asleep around midnight, because that's a perfect time for our brain and body to go into this mode of deep sleep. So it's better. Trying to go back that early, because sleep is important. Then I think, when we wake up, having a good morning routine, it's important, both kind of a physical, so a bit of a stretching, a bit of, going outside if it's nice and warm, or if it's cold, taking a deep breath. Having a good morning mental routine, so maybe journaling a bit, or praying or meditating, whatever you choose, and then eating food. I found out as well, when I don't eat good, I feel it both in my body, in my weight, and in my brain. When I eat well and take care of all of that, it helps me. So I think that this evening and morning routines are important, and good eating. But what else is, especially since we have a baby, when I work. When I'm with family, I'm with family. When I go on a trip and I go to the mountains, I'm there. So it's not always perfect. Sometimes still, when I'm with a baby, I check the phone or something else, but I try to divide it. And one tip that helped me, Gabriela, a lot is putting my phone away where I don't really have access to it, because it's pretty much always next to me.
Yeah.
A phone, where everything is these days. But I try to keep it away, especially when I spend the time with the family. I keep it in another room. Like in the past, that was almost impossible. But I leave it in another room and I just go somewhere. I even go to a local shop without phone. That's crazy. Yes, I go to a local shop and walk without phone. How is possible? For me, it wasn't possible 1, 3, 5 years ago. But I think this distinction helps me keep the energy high, because when I'm with a family, I'm with a family, and I give energy and I take energy from my son and wife and parents. When I'm at work, I focus on the work mode, I deliver, I help. So I think this division, both physical, so currently I'm at a desk, there's a laptop, there's a camera, there are lights, all that stuff. And this division, and then another division in the head, so you know what you're doing. Anyway, I can love the questions.
Talking about work, tell us more about your daily habits. How do you organize yourself? Because when you work with top clients, the more requests coming on board for you, and how do you manage to respond for everyone? Because you are very responsive, and I was so delighted to hear your yes, I will be on your talk show.
Great question. And you mentioned responding, and I think it goes back to what I said previously a tiny bit, which is, on the one hand, yes, let's be very responsive and speak to each other like almost all the time, and don't wait. But on the other hand, when I'm not responding or not doing something, I'm leaving it as it is. So in the past, I would think, oh yes, or something. I'm going back to the phone again, because this is really a big part of our days to days. Like we focus so much on that. So imagine that the phone is here, and obviously now we have a conversation for your audience. And by the way, if there are any questions from the people that are watching, maybe please write them. I will try to respond later. So hey, so try to be with us. That would be great. But managing the day, I think that previously I said about dividing the day between kind of a work and a family, and I think that helps. So when I'm working, I'm focused on that. Another tip is when there is something coming in. So whether there is a message or email or something on my to-do list, if it takes less than 3 minutes, if it's literally at 3 minutes, but not at 12 minutes, but 3 minutes, I try to do it straight away. So, so for example, when we finish this call and I would want to send you a thank you message, I wouldn't leave that till 2-3 days in the future, but do it straight away, because it's a small task that I can do straight away. Because putting this task on a to-do list into my program, and then finding it and putting it in the right place, it will take more time and energy than doing it straight away. So I think if it's a small task, do it straight away. If it's something bigger, add it to the to-do list. And we can talk about that separately, but put it into the big basket of, hey, let's do everything, and then divide it, what's important, whether it's this, that, or that. And another thing is a team, is help of someone. At some point, you just need to get someone to work with you. I started as a solopreneur on my own. And over the years, I built a team of a PA, of a marketing manager, of a web designer, a copywriter. So we work with 4, 5, 6 people, depending on the project around me. So building trusted team around you is another way of juggling all of that, I think.
Because you talk about building team, building businesses. How can we build a strong personal brand when we start a business? First, we need to build our personal brand, and after company branding. How can we build, from your point of view of marketing, this personal branding is so sometimes it's so hard to do that, and many of us don't understand how to start this zone, to access this zone.
Understandable. Good question. How to start building personal brand so it turns into company brand. First of all, it's a good distinction. Yes, it's a bit different, the personal brand and the company brand, and it's way easier and better, and there's a better ROI on building a personal brand, because these days people like to trust people and not the companies and not the logos. Obviously, behind companies there are people, but we prefer to speak to someone rather than to the machine. So that's a good distinction. How do we start doing that? I think, first of all, we need to give a chance to people to see what we do and how we do it. And obviously, many years ago, you could take a piece of paper and write saying, hey, I sell suits. Come to me to buy a tie or suit. And you can take this piece of paper and stick it near the council or church or wherever small village you are from, and that worked 20, 50, 100 years ago. These days it all happens online. So we need to take this piece of paper, which is digital, so either a written note or a picture or a video, and post it where people are. There's a reason I mentioned about the church and the council and the local shop, because that's where people went to 50 years ago or so. These days, people go to Facebook and Instagram and
LinkedIn,
YouTube, and Twitter and LinkedIn and Snapchat, all that stuff. And it's a great thing because all of these platforms are free. There are some paid options like ads and premium accounts sometimes, but it's all free. So how to start building? If you're watching it now with us or a bit later, and you want more people to find out about what you do and what kind of service or product you have, literally go on the 3 biggest platforms these days. Go on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn, for example. And if you can, make a video. How to make a video? Grab the phone that you have, open the camera, make sure you look at the phone, at the camera at the top of your phone, and press record and start talking, saying, hi, I'm Raf. I do marketing for clients and companies, helping them and that stuff. And so you do that. You record this video and then you post it on a Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube for free. That's how we start. The video is the best because it grabs attention easier and faster. If you are scared of doing videos, there are ways to work with that. We do that as well. But if not, take a photo. Take a photo of yourself. Look, click, and write the post underneath saying, "Hi, my name is Raf. I run a full-service marketing company. I can help you with your marketing and sales." Do that. So that's the first step. And then, Gabriela, what's amazing? Do it every day for 100 days. Just try to come up with a bit more creative idea. So like you, Gabriela, you are making this talk show. It's amazing. You are posting photos. You are posting videos.
We
You
create
are,
events. We create a meeting of minds events with Dr. John DeMartini and many others, special
exactly.
guests.
Exactly.
Yes, we expose every day.
Exactly. So let's start with something really simple. And again, how to start building the personal brand. You start telling people who you are, what you do, and how you can help them. And when talking to someone and building a relationship, remember when I talk about trust in the past, half an hour ago or so, like building the trustworthy relationship, long-term relationship, and those posts, they cannot sell all the time. So every post cannot say that, "Hey, I sell marketing services." No, because people don't like to be sold, but people like to buy. Isn't that right?
It's true.
People don't like to be sold, they like to buy things.
True.
People are smart. We are smart. I don't have to post on every post that I run a marketing company and I do content marketing and videos and Facebook ads, because there is so much of that online that so many people see my face next to Gary Vee and Warren Buffett and Andy Harrington. They know what I do for them. So I'm saying that because another way of creating content is to deliver value, delivering value to them. How do you deliver value? In my case, it's that kind of a conversation. So what I said about, hey, how to create content, take a photo, post it online. How to have a good morning routine, wake up, stretch, take a glass of water, all that stuff. So delivering good value that can help Gabriela and her followers can potentially mean that, yes, I can help some people, but maybe tomorrow or in 2 years, there will be someone that will see this video that can say, hey, maybe Raf can help me. And that may be a project for a company. So let's help each other deliver good content.
Yeah, very, very good point you touch, because many of us, especially when we are in early years of our business, we expect the things to happen yesterday, no, after 1 week. And we need to have patience. We need to build trust, and we need to build confidence, and that people see, not only sell products. I'm sure, Raf, you in your entrepreneurial life, you managed to do lots of mistakes. Tell me about only one. What is the memorable mistake in your entrepreneurial journey?
Oh, Gabriela, no, I didn't do any mistakes. Come on.
Okay, I will cross the question.
No, of course. No, I'm obviously joking. No, many mistakes, and I think mistakes are not bad. It's just it would be good that they happened kind of behind a closed door. So at the end of the day, if the client or your friend gets the good results, that's what counts. Something that I can share. See, that's the proof that I haven't seen the questions before, because I'm just trying to think about something, which is good. It's a live video.
I avoid to do that. I avoid to do that because I love to see the reaction, the real reaction. That means you are a real entrepreneur.
Yeah. Okay. So let me share that. And I think it was some sort of a mistake. which if I didn't do it, if I do it a different way, it could help me probably a bit more. So I would start to be a bit more formal in the agency a bit sooner. So myself and possibly you, Gabriel, I don't know, I'm sure many of the viewers, when you start your journey as an entrepreneur, when you're in 99.9% a solopreneur, you're just on your own, you do something. At the beginning, when you do something for a client or you want to do something, in most cases there are no contracts. In most cases, you say, "Oh, I will do it for X money," and that's all, and it's not written anywhere. There are no terms and conditions, and there are no things like professional website with some photos. So I think all these formalities. So on the one hand, contracts they not only help when something goes wrong, because sometimes things happen, but mostly they add a bit more kind of a credibility and looking a bit more professional. Mm-hmm. But then having a professional photo shoot that can present you really well, all these things that could happen a bit earlier. Obviously, I know in some cases there is some cost associated with that, but if you can do at least something, that could help. So my mistake would be probably that I could introduce this a bit more of a structure and paperwork and a more professional designs to my own agency, maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago, and not 3, 4 years ago, because that's what happened. I think it wasn't a big mistake, but something that could have helped me better.
What is unique about yourself and your marketing agency?
I think what is unique about myself and Pikul Agency is the fact that we care, and that's really important, because if someone really thinks about that, is that it's not only working for a certain number of hours, 1 to 3 hours. It's not only thinking about this one thing, like for example Facebook only, but then let's think about Instagram or LinkedIn, or all that stuff. So this caring about someone is important, is unique. We are we are a small company, although we work with small and huge clients, and that's another thing that is unique for us. Currently, we work with solopreneurs who, like you, Gabriela, as far as I know, work mostly on your own and try to build a brand and create better content and do better ads and get results, all the way through medium-sized companies like some universities or some shops on high streets, all the way to a huge companies like Berkshire Hathaway, Gary Vee, and Direct Line Insurance. I think that gives us this latitude, this variety of different approaches, so we can work with someone really tiny, in some cases, and big. So I think caring and kind of a personal touch is what's unique. And the last thing would be that we do marketing, but in many cases marketing is focused by many people and companies on the production. So creating a video, creating a photo, and then putting it online. And this is important, but what we do before is strategy and strategy sessions. So it's important to know what you do. If we discover who is your client, where this client is sitting online, so whether it's a LinkedIn or Facebook or TikTok, then we can create the content better, because there's a different way to record something and to make ads for someone who is a 23-year-old single man than for a 39-year-old mom of 3, than for a 62-year-old gentleman who is a CEO. There are 3 different words. So we help with the strategy, with content production, and with delivery. Thanks.
Another few questions, and we nearly finish our interview.
Let's go.
in life and business, solving problems is an essential skills. How do you handle the extreme situation, the extreme circumstance in your life and business?
Great question. I believe I have a good and short answer to that. How do I handle extreme situations in life and business? Two ways. First of all, I try to look at that from a 10-year perspective. So whatever is happening now, whether it's really good or really bad, but mostly if it's good, I'm not stressing about that. It's like, yeah, amazing. When it's bad, it's like, okay, what do I do? Let's think about 10 years. So think, how old I will be in 10 years, how old my baby will be, where we will be, and how much that thing that's currently happening will matter in 10 years. And that usually gives a different perspective. Another thing is to focus on priorities. And our priority is to live, not only live a good life or bad life, just to live and survive and just be alive. Just be, be in a good health and be alive in 5, 10, 50 years. So whatever's happening now, like I'm, fortunate enough to have family around me, to have some money saved and to all that stuff. So even if something really bad happens, I'll be okay. I think thinking about priorities, like family and babies and the perspective of time, helps to look at it from a different point of view. And one more thing extra, if I can, Gabriela, I think whenever something extreme happens, and in most cases that will be bad, I assume, if I'm not extremely happy when something great happens, I'm not extremely sad when something sad happens. So I think being in the middle is a good thing, because things will happen, like good or bad. It's just part of the life. But let's not be like overjoyed about something. Let's be happy and celebrate, but let's not stop at that. So I think the balance between all of that is what helps me.
How you define success? Because I believe this word is overused, and I really want to take on board your personal advice and proof.
Mm-hmm. How do I define success? I believe it's a freedom and health, and obviously then it can be divided into many different layers, but it's a freedom of time and doing what I want to do. It's a financial freedom. So that's that. And health, it's both the physical and mental health. And to be honest, probably mental and physical first, because what's most important is here, and then that drives the body. So freedom, and success. If I'm free with my time and energy and money, and if I'm happy doing what I do with and I'm healthy, then I'll be successful. Yeah.
Because you are in marketing, and lots of other agency in marketing are on board in this world. What do you think are the biggest issues for this kind of type of business, for like marketing of this model of business?
Are you asking from a point of view of an individual client, or from an agency point of view when running
from
a business?
From your agency point?
So what are the biggest challenges or problems?
Yeah.
I think possibly two things. One, at the big, and I can share about the size of my company, because I don't employ 100 people, but at the beginning is the ability to delegate things to others and not doing everything on your own, because we think that we are the best at everything. But first of all, we are not. Let's work with an expert in a different field. You are not good at everything. You're good at many things, but not at everything. So it's the delegation of things to your team that can help you and trust. And then the understanding that even if it's something is done at 75, 80, 90% of how you would do it, it's still better than you doing it, because there's no time to do everything. So that's one thing. And another thing which I believe could be a problem with other companies is the fact that the way how many agencies are structured is they offer a generic services. So they say, okay, so we will create 3 videos, and we will post it on 2 different platforms, and we will create 2 advertisements a month for X pounds, and that's it. Or there's another package which you can buy. So I think that could be an issue, because everyone is different. Whether a client is an individual, whether it's a small company or a huge company, they require something else. So being able to flex a call or 2 with a client, or someone who can be a client is important, because you can create something custom for them. I think these 2 things.
The last question, Raf. If you have a stick and you have the possibility to go back 10 years back, what you will change in your entrepreneurial life?
Oh, on the one hand, I want to say that I wouldn't change anything, because it wouldn't let me to where I am today.
Yeah.
But if I could, I'd probably buy a lotto ticket for the numbers I know. No, I'm kidding. Sorry. No. Let me give you a good answer that will help some people. What would I change 10 years ago? That's a good question. Okay, so it's 2020 now. We're in summer. Let's go to summer. It's really amazing, because 10 years ago, almost literally like 10 years and 2 weeks ago, it was my wedding with my wife. So I just went back 10 years ago, and I thought about
good
the wedding.
memory for yourself and your
Yes.
family. Yeah.
You know what? You know what I would change? I would start then more about what I can do for other people. So it's something that I shared at the beginning of this conversation, how to start creating personal brand. 10 years ago, I would start creating personal brand, because obviously social media weren't as developed as they are now, but Facebook and YouTube existed, and Google Ads and stuff. So I would start talking about what I do. So saying, videos, photos, because that would probably bring me closer and faster to where I am today. And I didn't do it at the beginning, like most of us. I was just, doing things. And even that I did things for clients that I, 7, 8, 9 years ago, I didn't really show much of that online. So I would start sharing content online. And maybe one other thing, I would start working with some experts in the field sooner. Now I understand that if I want to get a good result, it's pretty much always better to pay that person that you trust, that they can help you, and get the results. In the past, I would just try to do everything on my own, and in many cases it didn't work. So it took me, more time to do what I do. But yeah, so do you have this magic stick? Can you give it to me?
I know I say the last question, but that is the real last question.
Yeah.
If you meet outside someone who says something like that, Raf, I'm solo entrepreneur. What is your great advice for me for this time? How to stay out of the crowd? Because the internet is full of information and marketing campaign. How to manage to build myself?
Okay. If someone wants to do that, if someone, as you said, wants to build himself, herself, it means that they want to change something in their life. So I would say start putting consistent content online. And I'm saying that with a responsibility, because I don't do it too often these days, but I'm in a fortunate space where we've got a lot of work and the clients, and people just come to us and we try to help them, and it's amazing. But many years ago, I was posting a lot. So if someone wants to do it now, if I met them on the street, I would say, hey, and there's no magic answer, Gabriela, as you know. There's just way of work and persistence. So post on Facebook, post on Instagram, work with the trusted experts, and do it consistently. Share your journey, and do it for the next 1, 3, 5 years, and then your Gary Vee and Warren Buffett will come in, and then that will be just the beginning of the journey. I hope that helps.
Thank you so much, Rafal. Thank you. I'm deeply honored to have you on our talk show, Diasporas and Business. Thank you for your wisdom. And yes, if anyone have question, please let us know down of the video. And I'm sure Rafal will be more than happy to share his expertise and experience. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you again. Yes, if there are any questions, please write in the comment or just find me or Gabriela anywhere online. I'm Rafal Pikul everywhere on every social media. I'll be happy to help. Yeah, let's have a great day. Let's enjoy the the good weather if it's outside, and let's meet sometime soon in the real life. I hope.
I hope soon. I hope soon. Take care of you, Rafa, and your family. Take care. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.